my report, group is defined as two or more persons engaged in social interaction. This implies that each member of group is aware of the other members. Under influence, others say that a group exists only when the individual members have developed status, role, relationship with respect to one another. Individual must have a common goals in order for them to be considered as a group. About sa ako ang kuan about sa ako ang report is about to grouping and ibali ang sa grouping is about the goals. Kung unsa inyong gusto is imo ninyo for groupings. Then tagaan nimo ang imong grupo for respect o sa lain pa man nga mga grupo or relationship or individual pa na. Then aware for of the other members. Then kasabot na is then mag-conduct ganing magkinabangay gud or sa group or sa kuan man lang sa bali namoy bulahaton ng mga project mo na ang kuan sa awang kuan sa group example.
Hey ma'am, this is my report. My report is characteristic of a group. Here are the important characteristics of a group. Interactions in the pattern of mutual influence, physical, verbal, non-verbal, and emotional. Ang interaction ay isang simbolo na impluwensya na sa isa't isa. Number 2, structure is a stable pattern of a relationship. Ang struktura ay isang matatag na simbolo ng mga relasyon. A. Rules deal with the behavior expected of members in the given position. So, ang mga tungkulin ay tumatalakay sa pag-uugali na inasahan ng mga miyembro sa isang particular na posisyon. B. Norms are the rules that identify and describes appropriate behavior. So, sa B, ang mga pamantayan ay ang mga tuntunin na mga tumutukoy na larawan ng agok na pag-uugali. So, C. Inter-member relationship are influenced by authority and communication. So, ang sa C, ang mga relasyon sa pagitan ng mga miyembro ay na-influensyahan ng mga autoridad at komunikasyon. Number 3, goals are the reasons for existence. Ang number 3 ay ang mga layunin ay mga dahilan sa pagkakaroon. So, number 4, perceived group is the existence in which members see themselves as common faith, similarity, proximity. So, number 4, napagtanto ng mga komunidad ay mga lawak kung saan nakikita mga membro ang kanilang sarili. Karaniwang sa kapalaran. So, mga ang common faith. Similarity is pagkakatulad. Or proximity is kalapitan. So, number 5, dynamic interdependency occurs when the members are active, energized, vibrant, and challenging. Ang dinamikong pagtutulungan ay ang nangyayari kapag ang mga miyembro ay aktibo, masigla, humantong sa mga masisigla. Number 6, motivation focuses on personal needs which when attained lead to satisfaction. Ang number 6, ang pagganyak ay ang katutunan ng mga personal na pagkailangan ng kapag naabot.
This is my report entitled Courses Found in a Small Group. There are two important historical landmarks in understanding a small group. These are the research of Elton Mayo and his associates in 1920 and 1930s, an experiment conducted in the 1930 by Kurt Levin, considered as the founder of the group dynamics movement. According to Mayo, workers then establish formal group that affect job satisfaction and effectiveness. Levin showed that different kinds of leadership attitude produce different responses in group. A group is composed of individuals who have come together to accomplish a particular task of good. Group dynamics refers to the attitudinal, and group dynamics refers to the attitudinal in the group of behavior characteristic of the group. In a group of the members share consciousness and membership interaction. A group is not a mere collection of individuals but an ingredient of personalities acting and interacting with one another in process of living. To be a member of a group, one must participate in common life and activities. Group dynamic form the structure of group and how its member function. So, there are examples of small group. Group involves regular meetings such as personal committee, audit committee, report committee, grievance committee are examples of small group since it may be informal for people communicating, and group may or may not have centralized structure. So there are characteristics of small group. Several characteristics of a small group including size, structure, interdependence, and shared identity. In terms of size, small group must consist at least 3 people, but there is no sense upper limit on number of group members. So, consists of social group. San Juan and Centennial 2011 present that ecologically he is the political power-seeking being. Theologically, he is the religious God-seeking being. Being the sociologically, man is gregarious social being seeking of company of another social being. The saying no man is an island explain that a person cannot live satisfactorily by himself is alone. His, her existence and satisfaction of her needs and wants as well as her happiness depends to a large degree upon her association with another people. So no man is an island. So sa diri sa kalibutan wala gyud tao nga mabuhi na siya lang gyud isa. Kailangan gyud siya og naay partner. Siya nagdepende siya as a concept of social group.
A pleasant afternoon, ma'am. So this is my report. Kinds of formal groups. So there are 3 kinds of formal groups. First is command groups. Second is task groups, and last is functional groups. So command groups are specified by the organizational chart and often composed of a leader and the members who directly report to him or her. So there is a common groups is naa siya organizational chart kadto galing na ay head, na ay assistant head, and sa abos is member. And then sa common group sub is naa siya leader and a member, like for example the CEO and the employee. So ang role sa leader is siya ang mag-command, siya ang mag-disseminate sa plan, while ang employee or ang member is ang iyang role is to report lang or to report sa ka task or report sa gihatag nga task sa leader. The number 2, task groups consist of people who work together to achieve a common task. Members are brought together to accomplish a narrow range of goals within a specified time.
time. So sa task groups is wala siya na-consist of leader or a member. Dapat each of member nag-unite to accomplish a goal. Like for example, sa sikat na TV series sa FPGs ang probinsyano na Task Force Agla. So ang ilang gibuhat dito is nag-reunite sila, nagtinabangay sila, dapat nagtinabangay sila na ma-accomplish nila ang ilang mission. Groups are created by an organization to accomplish specific goals within an unspecified time frame. They continue to function even after their goals have been achieved. So there is a functional group, is a group of organization na i-continue gihapon nila ang ilang goals or ang ilang task even though ilan ang na-achieve. Kinds of informal group. Interest group usually continue over time and may last longer than general informal groups. The goals and objectives of interest groups are specific to each group and will not be related to organizational goals and objectives. So the difference between formal group and informal group. Sa formal group is more on naay organization, but there is sa informal is walay organizational na hinin, walay organization. And example sa interest group is wala sila gi-accomplish na goal, kundi ang ilang nakadepend lang sila more on self-satisfaction or more on self-interest. Like for example, a group of students conducted a group study or Bible study. Number 2, friendship groups are formed by individuals who enjoy similar social activities, political beliefs, religious values, or other common bonds. Members enjoy each other's company. So from the word friendship groups is a circle of friends nga na more on enjoy lang, wala sila accomplish na task or goals, like for example, jamming, hanging out with friends. Reference group last is reference groups are composed of people who are evaluated for social validation and social comparison.
There are two types of group, primary group and secondary group. Primary group is characterized by intimate face-to-face association and cooperation among its members. It fundamentally forms the social nature and ideas of an individual. It involves sympathy and mutual identification which is a form of natural expression. San Juan and Centino, 2011. Secondary group consists of members who are aware and cognizant of personal relationship, but they do not feel that their lives are bound with each another. As if in the time of social crisis, the members may be separated from one another by a distance or by a lack of personal contact. So, we will discuss further about the special properties of groups. The special properties of groups are illustrated by a simple lesson in mathematics, as in 1 plus 1 equals 3. This is a logical error in the world of mathematics. In the world of group dynamics, however, the rationale in a group, there is no such thing as merely a composition of two people. It is their relationship that makes it 3. When we talk about group, it composed one or more people involved with it, na nagkakaisa, nagkakaintindihan, then kung hindi sila nagkakaisa at nagkakaintindihan, hindi natin sila matatawag na isang grupo. Halimbawa, kung ikaw ay kasama sa isang grupo, kinakailangan mong magbigay ng opinion or idea.
Informal groups formed naturally in response to the common interests and shared values of individuals. Created for purposes and does not have a specific time frame. It is also not designated, and members are allowed to invite anyone from time to time. Informal groups, these are kind of groups na usually nagakuan ko ibalik kung mag-organize lang mo ka ng group, like mag-practice mo or kaya
Usa magsabot mo nga mag-practice mo ka ng cheer dance or something like ganyan. Ang mga tao or ang member sa imong group, like wala jud sila specific time frame. Usually na sa mga tao ng Filipino time jud. So kaya sila ang informal group dili wala sila kanang values nila nga kailangan ing ani, kailangan ing ana, murag dili sila organized sila nga type of group. Okay. Meeting. Convened for different purposes, information, advice, decision making, negotiation, coordination, and creative thinking. A committee holds a specific type of meeting in which members have been delegated authority with regard to the problem at hand. A meeting of 5 people seems to be preferred for typical situations. A smaller group sometimes has difficulty functioning because of the conflicts of power. If membership rises above 7, communication tends to become centralized because members do not have adequate opportunity to communicate with one another. So, meeting, mo siya, for example, like when you are a CEO, when you conduct a meeting, nadyo na siya yung mga board of committee, mga imuhang mga employees around you na ang meeting ninyo ang purpose niya is mag-organize ng mga decision making ninyo kung sa inyo sa ni ang kaning project kung sa ni pag kanang overcome nga kanang mga problems sa inyong company. So and the report, kaning a meeting of 5 people seems to be preferred for typical situations. And if membership rises above 7, communication tends to become centralized because members do not have an adequate opportunity to communicate with one another. So, kibali, ginamin po dali nga, kung 5 lang kabuk ang imuhang ka-meeting, na-adjud kay possible chance na mas ganang flow lang, kanang original flow or kaya natural flow sa kuan lang meeting ninyo sa inyong discussion about sa inyong kuanon kay magkasinabot naman mo niya di mahandle lang nimo tanan nimo mga tao. So kung ang imuhang mga tao nga kauban kay daghan kaayo na siya kuan na siya imbalance kumbaga kung daghan na sila dili na tanan makakaano ilahang opinion kay mag-away na sila sa kanang kinsa mas na ay voice na mag-voice out sa ilahang mga opinions sila. Okay. A person cannot live alone. In this part pala, it's about the conclusion sa all of the topics discussed by my mates. A person cannot live alone. He or she needs the company of others. By nature, a social being who needs to form a group, a person has his or her own community. Aside from permanent groupings, there are also temporary ones such as the various organizations in society which may be religious, economic, or political in nature. So, from the word a person cannot live alone, wala man yung tao nga maka-survive na siya lang kay kailangan man din natong partner in life as we strive for our goal, as we develop, as we grow sa atong self, na dapat tayo kauban naman yung mga tao nga maghatag sa tuag kanang inspiration na mas mag-grow ta, na mas mag-evolve ta into something na mas mugaan ang atong life. Forming a group is important to every human because he or she needs a companion for the rest of their life. However, regulation must be imposed and followed for the smooth existence of any group. So, about sa ang explanation ani is like kung ang imong companion bad influence sa imuha, na possibility na dili ka pwede nga dira ka permanent. Kailangan din mong buhi. Kaya ang kailangan mo flow lang man sa imong life na mas mugana siya, mas kuan siya na steady imong flow na dili ka maghuna-huna nga nga wala problema kay ang imong social group, ang imong naa sa imong paligid kay mas mas makatabang sa imuha. That's all. Thank you.